Comic-Con has been a mainstay here at the San Diego Convention Center for 41 years now. And with me is the Director of Marketing and Public Relations, David Glanzer. You've been here for quite a while yourself, right?
Yeah, I first started coming to the show in 1977 as a fan and then started volunteering in 1984. I like to tell people I was about 3 years old when I started.
Wow, and Comic-Con has changed a lot. You're telling me when you started, 7,000 people. You guys are into the hundreds of thousands now.
Yeah, last year we had about 126,000 people, and unfortunately because we've maximized the space of the facility, we can't really let any more people in. So that capped number has been about the same for the last 3 years.
Now, is that each day over the whole 4 days?
It's over the whole 4 days. Each day during the course of the weekend, we have about 60,000 people. So when you're on the exhibit floor, you'll see a tremendous amount of people, but there's still about another 25,000 people who are in meeting rooms upstairs.
And some of those people that come down to Comic-Con now are some Hollywood royalty. You guys have pulled in a lot of the Hollywood talent, a lot of TVs and movies.
That's true. You know, when we started in 1970, we had a focus on comic books, fantasy literature, and actually movies. One of the first films we screened was a revival of Othello by, oh my gosh, by Citizen Kane director. What's his name?
Orson Welles.
Orson Welles, exactly. And there's always been a film element, but what's happened in the last few years especially is we're starting to get a lot of big Hollywood talent, a lot of A-list talent. But comics still rule here. We have more comic book creators, publishers, and fans than any other convention in the United States.
You guys have maybe thousands, probably different vendors and exhibitors. What are some of the things that people can actually expect from the Comic-Con experience?
Well, you know, again, every comic book publisher is here. There's game manufacturers, there's toy companies, TV networks and movie studios, comic book retailers, people who sell fine art, booksellers. There's about 1,000 exhibitors on the floor. They take up the entire convention center, and you can literally find something that'll, I think, pique anybody's interest.
And it's not just the convention floor. You guys have panels going on all day long, and sometimes it's a toss-up of, do I sit in panels all day long, or do I go hit the convention floor? Can you talk a little bit about the panels?
Sure. You know, we have over 400 hours of programming on all aspects of the popular arts. That includes breaking into the comic book business. We have filmmaking classes, live drawing classes. We have programs for children. And it's difficult to try to do everything because you just can't. But you know what? We encourage people to go through our events guide, kind of plan out their week, and if they do a good job of that, they'll have a great deal of fun.
And when planning out your week, one of the big things for Saturday is the masquerade. And a big part of the overall Comic-Con experience, you just walk around the floor anywhere, and you're going to run into costumes. You're going to see your favorite superhero and anime character. How did that get started with you guys?
Well, you know, I think it's been a trend with conventions, science fiction, and fan conventions for many, many years. About 1% of the people who attend Comic-Con come in costume, but they spend a lot of time on them. Those who are really serious about costuming do, as you say, attend the masquerade, which is on Saturday night. And some of those can spend up to months on costumes, and some of them are amazingly spectacular.
What's your favorite thing about Comic-Con?
You know, this is going to sound a little cheesy, but it really is hooking up with old friends that I haven't seen. It's hard to believe that a year has gone by since last Comic-Con, but you know, I just did an interview with a reporter from France who comes by every year. Great guy. I get to see him once a year, and that's true. I think that happens for a lot of fans as well. I think they end up seeing old friends they don't get a chance to see because they come from other parts of the state, other parts of the country, in some cases other parts of the world.
And speaking of like being worldly and so forth, you guys might be changing locations.
Well, one of the situations we're faced with, of course, is the lack of space to expand. We had to turn away over 400 exhibitors this year. So we've gotten proposals from Los Angeles, Anaheim, and San Diego, and each of those proposals are very well thought out, and obviously been a lot of time and effort been put into those. We have to make the decision that really is best for the convention and for our attendees. We hope to have a decision in August sometime.
And you guys sell out pretty quick. When should people be buying their tickets?
Well, if you're at the show this year, you can actually buy passes for next year here. We sold out in September of last year for our 4-day passes, and our 1-day passes sold out in February of this year. We do try to make return passes available on our website, but the best thing to do is to plan ahead.
So if you're thinking about Comic-Con next year, now is the time to get those tickets. For Time Warner Cable, I'm Noah Park.